Hi guys, time for another video with another heating controller that's a bit confusing to understand and manage. Today we have the Danfoss water and radiator heating system controller. So this is an advanced controller which controls both your heating, water heating and radiator heatings. So it took a bit of time to understand this myself because the user manual was almost useless and we don't have much videos in YouTube as well. So I had to experiment and test myself multiple times to ensure that what I understood was correct and could make a video, and being the reason that it's almost end of winter that I have been able to make this video now. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, one more thing before I get started, I would request you to watch till the end of the video, not just because I want good views, but also because I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to manage things if things are not working even after setting up this controller well. So yeah, please do stick around to the end. Okay, to start with the basics, as you can see, we have multiple icons on the left and we have the control panel on the right, and these are different signs. I would say these are shortcuts. This icon means this is a house and a person is inside the house. That means this settings is for settings when you're inside the house. This one obviously is when you're outside the house. This is for night, and this is off, turning off the controlling or remote control or automatic remote controller system. And obviously this is back and all the navigation. This would be our menu button. So the first thing that, as I said, this controller controls both water and radiator heating system. So you can get hot water and heating mode, multiple options to control here. If you look slightly on the lower side, you have different icons or images that are not active yet, and they become active once they are used. The last one, this one will be the heating. This one is for water heating. This is battery when you're on the battery mode, and this is lock screen, and another is the Wi-Fi. We won't be talking about these, but mostly the final one, which is the heating sign. First thing, you need to understand what the image and the temperature means to start with. As you can see, it is turned off now with this as the sign is appearing in, and the temperature that appears here is the temperature that is normally detected by the thermometer in your house. So this is not the outside temperature, but the temperature that is being detected by the system automatically. So currently the temperature outside your house might be 5, 6 degree or 10 degree, but this is what's been detected. But let's say once I press inside home, the inside home temperature that I had set or preferred was 20. But as you can see, the temperature outside is 21. And if I simply increase the temperature default to more than 21, the heating starts. So that means I had selected the inside house temperature as 20, but the temperature outside was 21, hence no heating started initially. But once I increased the temperature from more than what was outside or what was detected, the heating starts. And so I'll just turn off the heating for now. Yeah, okay, now let's go to the menu. As I said, there are multiple options: heating, click and save, heating mode, schedule, temperature, holidays, user settings, installer settings. The first thing that you will want to make sure is that your timings are okay. That means day and time. I'll go to user settings for that. Set date. You set date by changing and navigating further. Once you're happy, come back to time, and this is most important. Change the time accordingly. You obviously have 24-hour and 12-hour system. Set the time and save it as okay. It's set. So this option is for button click. If you turn that on, you'll hear that noise, and if you don't like it, as you don't, you just turn it off. The other one would be backlight for the screen. You don't want that turned off. Temperature scale, you have centigrade or Fahrenheit. We would be using centigrade for this part of the world. We have languages, any language that you can select, major of them. And user reset is when you think everything is messed up and you're going to start again. Okay. This is the information on the model. After user settings, the most important part comes to the heating mode. You have to ensure that it is scheduled heating when you want to use a schedule for heating, and not manual. When it's manual, it's totally using these buttons to specifically turn off and on whenever you want to turn them on and off. And with schedule, you'll be able to automatically schedule the heating which you might want during winter hours. So I've selected scheduled heating for heating mode, and the second thing would be schedule. This is where you schedule the heatings. Okay, scheduling the heatings, we would have options for weekdays, weekends, and any selected days, and reset. So I'll start with weekends, as that might be easier to understand and explain. Okay, let's get started. So I've selected weekends. So this means that Saturday, Sunday is selected as okay weekend, and we're okay with that. So this is the confusing part. We have select home periods 1, select home periods 2, and select home period 3. To understand this better, select home period 1 means you will be inside home, or you would need heating in one stretch. So I started with weekends because let's say we are home in weekends most of the time, almost whole day. That means you would want to have a one selection period. And if you were weekdays where you might be out for office, you would want to select home period 2 because you might be home twice, let's say in the morning and in the evening, and you're out in the day. Or you can say that you will be, or you might want to even select home period 1 because you'll be home from, let's say, evening 5 o'clock to next day morning till 9 o'clock that you go out for office. So basically, understanding home periods is very critical on how you want to set this up. So 1 means one stretch of inside home, 2 stretch of inside home, and 3 stretches of inside home. So though it says home periods, I would use this as when you want the heating to be on. So do you want the heating to be on in one stretch? Do you want the heating to be turned on twice a day in different stretches, or thrice a day at different time intervals? So even if it says home periods, it's actually to be used as heating times. How many times in a day would you like the heating to be turned on automatically? Only once, twice, or thrice? Hope that's clear. Okay, as we are in weekends, we'll just select one stretch of heating, and this is what I have selected currently. So on weekends, please understand that weekend starts at 12 o'clock at night on Friday. So what I've done is from 12 o'clock at night, and this is the way you change it. You press OK, it goes to from 12 o'clock to 10 a.m. because that might be a good time for me to wake up and then get ready for going out. So that is one stretch that I would like the heating to be on. I select OK. Okay, let's check it. Heating mode, weekends, Saturday, Sunday, 1 period, and 0 to 10. So on weekends, I'm letting the heat on be turned on from 12 o'clock at night to 10 a.m. But if you think you need 2 stretches, you can change that. in home period 2, which I'll be showing in the other section when I select weekdays. Okay, so one thing to, let's go to weekdays first. Now let's go to weekdays just as another example. So Monday to Friday is the weekdays, Saturday, Sunday is not selected. That's good. So I'm going with 2, or you can go with 3 home periods or 3 heating periods if you want. Okay, let's go to 2. So what I've set here is in my weekdays, 2 o'clock at night. You can change this time obviously. And okay, to 5 o'clock in the morning. If you want the heating to be turned on only 2 hours, let's give it till 6. Okay, so that's the first period. Now it's asking for second period of heating. As you remember, it's 2 home periods. Okay, the first one I have kept at 7 o'clock in the evening. You can change this as you want. Let's say 7:30 to 11 o'clock at night. Just enough to get a warm sleep. Okay, it's not now been scheduled. Okay, let's check again. Heating weekdays, Saturday, Sunday off, that's okay. 2 periods. First one is 2:25 to 6. Second one is 7:30 to 11. Okay, it's been saved. I hope it's clear now. And as I can say, so let's show. So when you go first to any settings that's already saved, the first home period that you see means this is what was saved earlier. Had I selected 1, this is the screen that would appear first. So since I selected 2 periods for weekdays, that's why this appeared first on the screen, and when I press on, this is what it shows, what has been saved. Okay, just to test further. Now if I go to weekends, I should be able to see only 1 heating period because that's what I saved. See, this means I had selected, and this period is one period is which is being used for heating in weekends. Okay, I hope it's clear. And when you come out, you get a summary. Okay, I think I should go to summary later. Now after schedule, temperature is the important thing. So we have set the dates, time and date, the scheduling system, automatic or manual, and set the actual schedules. And now we're going to have a look at temperatures. So this is asking what is the temperature you want when you're inside the home in AM. Okay, AM and PM, you can see that change. So I have set AM temperature at 22.5 degrees and PM at 21.5 degrees. You can change them, adjust them accordingly. And just move to next. When you're outside of the home, what temperature do you want? So generally you would want less temperature because you don't want to start it heating automatically. But if you want it heated before you come home, you might want to have a little temperature set there, just warm enough so that when it's snowing outside, things don't freeze. And this is the night. So as I said, in the morning when I'm inside home, 22 degrees. When the temperature is detected as 22 degrees, it should start heating. And in PM, that's the PM is 21.5 degrees for outside 8, sleep 8. Okay, that's the temperature I've set for now. This is the summary I'll get. In the morning, 22.5, PM 21.5, away 8.5, and sleep 8.5. So even I am not sure how the sleep timings work, so I wouldn't use that. Setting the temperature controller, as I said, using inside the house mode helps the most. That is when your heating will be turned on. So you can just set that up along with awake times and the sleep time would not matter much. Okay, the last thing I would like to talk about is the holiday. You can set up holiday even when all your routines are routines will be saved. So if I turn holiday on and then set the dates on these dates, it will totally be off or out of house even during your scheduled hours. But ensure that you have set the dates correct in the user settings before you minus this section. So currently I have turned off the holiday mode. That's fine. Okay, hope that was clear enough. Just to mention the use of these shortcut panels now. So as you can see, I have set different timings automatically. But let's say I had my inside home time evening at around 6 or 7 p.m. But I decide that I'm home quickly at around 2 some days and I just want to start heating. I just press this button. So this is a shortcut. It'll start the temperature as I scheduled as inside home. And if you could zoom, there is also an option for +1, 2, 3. That means how many people are there in the house. Okay, I'm not too sure how that works, but yeah, that's the option you have as well. If there are too many people, I guess the heating is a bit less or it detects something there. And also when you have scheduled heating, when you're inside home but you're stepping out of the home and you just don't want to fiddle with anything else, you just press this, and that means that even if your schedule says you're inside home, you're now outside the home, you're going out of the home and don't want the temperature to be too high. And finally, yeah, when you don't just want to turn it off without any settings, you just turn it off with this option. And that 5 degree is what the temperature that I have set when I'm out. But as you can see now, 21 degree is the temperature that it is detecting normally in the environment. Hope that's clear. So as I said, this is the Danfoss heating unit that I have in my apartment. This is the whole unit. As you can see, I have 2 controller blocks here. One has bedroom and one has living room. And the most important part would be making sure that the lever is on the auto and not stuck on the manual override. When it's in auto, that is when your control panel settings would work. And if you look at the side, it is definitely in auto. So the thing that you have to be careful of is making sure that if you have 2 of these blocks, making sure which control panel controls which of these. As you can see, I would have one controller in bedroom and the one controller in living room, which would control each one of these. And if the switches are on for both of these before starting everything, and also ensure that when you turn the heating on for one of them, the light here would turn on. I'll just show you that. So currently on my controller, it is turned off and the temperature is 21 degrees. So I'll just quickly make it as in home and I'll just increase the temperature. As you can see, as I increase from the temperature, there is a heating on sign, and when you turn that on, the light should be on now on those panels. Okay, as you can see, the light is on in the living room now while the other one is off. So this is how you check which one is controlling, and after that you'll have to also check which radiators are heating once this is turned on. Okay, first thing first, you have to ensure that this is on your 5 or 4 as you wish, And once it's turned on, first thing you would like to see it touch this area, because this is the first point in the radiator that will get heated. And yeah, it should start heating if this is the radiator that is being controlled by the control panel and the controller block there. So yeah, it's starting to heat now. That means that this radiator is being controlled by the room controller and the block. As if your heating has not been working for some time, and even after setting up the routine and schedules, and even when your heating sign is turned on, you see that your actual heating has not been turned on. You don't have hot water running, or your radiators are not heating up. The most probable reason could be that either your radiators have air filled up. There might be air fill up, which causes the radiator not to heat at all, or only sections of radiators heat. For that, you'll have to call your repair person to have it looked at, or if you can fix it yourself, that's not too difficult task. But if you're not confident, I would suggest calling somebody. But the other important thing before doing that would be making sure that the water is actually flowing into the radiators. So in my scenario, you would have noticed even at your home, when you turn on your hot water flow and turn off, there is a noise from your a sound from your pump, the heating pump. I'll just show you again. You might hear it once I close the hot water flow. So that last thump is from my water pump. So what happens is that if you've not used your radiator or heating system for long, the water pump somehow is not able to pump the water efficiently into the radiators. So for that, what generally has worked for me is I keep this tap open for a while, and it generally could be a minute or so, and then there is a louder sound from my pump area, or the heating pump area. I'll hear a bit louder thump there, and then the heating starts. Okay, generally you get a smaller thump with every turning off and on of your hot water, but for the issue when your radiators are not turning on, it needs a bit louder thump, and there might be a slightly big sound there. And once that happens, as I showed earlier, you can check your radiator openings or the radiator starting points where you control your heat and feel the heat come on. So even if that does not work, then it definitely might be time that you call a repair person. But this has always worked for me. And also be careful that generally it's only one tap that works. Not all of the hot water tap works. For me, this tap in my bathroom works, but for some others, I have noticed that someone works for kitchen, some works for some other tap. So be careful with that as well. Okay, that's all guys, that's all for today. Yeah, I hope it was helpful. Please do like and subscribe if you think that was helpful, the video was helpful, and that would motivate me to create more videos. And yeah, have a nice time.